It's officially November 1st of 2025. Time really flies. In about 2 months' time, the year is about to end and we will be approaching 2026. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if it's COVID that changed our perspective towards time or that we have grown older. Time really just flies as I reach the age of 23. And in fact, 2025 has been the fastest year I've actually gone through for my entire 33-year life. Because I remember when I was little or 5 years ago, time does not fly by so quickly. Time flies by really, really slowly, and it's like we have to go through so much before we can actually hit the end of the year. But for 2025, I just remembered I actually just attended a countdown event not so long ago, but actually it's been a long time. It's been 11 months since that event happened, but it just felt like at most a couple of months. So my perspective of time has definitely changed a lot since then. And I've actually joined the bank, my banking job. I've got my banking job as a personal banker for more than 3 months, and in about a week I'll be approaching the 4th month in a banking industry. So yeah, time really flies. And of course, I've also stopped posting on this account for more than 2 months, and I have to apologize. I actually had plans to make a couple of few videos. I had a few video ideas. For example, I wanted to make a 1 month experience in banking video, which I eventually didn't. I want to make a video on my 3rd month in banking video, which I eventually also did not make. And the reason is because I just lack the motivation, and the banking job that I'm having right now really just makes me feel exhausted. So every day after I head home, I'm just so exhausted to the point where I just scroll my phone for a couple of minutes and literally just pass out. Yeah, that's how exhausting this job is. And honestly, the banking job I have now, I really had a lot of mixed feelings for it. It's not the best job, it's not pleasant, and it's a little bit out of my expectations or to what the job actually is, but it's not that bad. I will actually share with you guys some of the good stuff that happened and also the struggles I've gone through in this job in this video. So let's just go through the good stuff that happened this month. Just last week, I passed my final exam that I required for this job, which is the FIM examination, which stands for Federation of Investment Managers Malaysia. It's actually a very important exam for you to obtain your license to be able to sell wealth products such as unit trusts or mutual funds or investment, whatever you want to call it. But in order to start selling these financial products, you need to actually sit this exam, pass it, and obtain your FIM license. And not to brag, but I actually passed all my exams on the first try, and I'm not sure any of my colleagues actually do that, because I've asked a couple of colleagues, they actually have to take more than one attempt before they pass the FIM exam. And some of my colleagues also failed some of the insurance exam, and the top sales of my branch also had to take her 2nd attempt before she can pass her FIM exam. But for me, I've actually passed all my exam on the first try, which is a really good feeling. I should be really proud of myself. However, I should not be too happy about it, because at the end of the day, you are judged by the amount of sales that you do, not how many attempts you actually took to pass the exams. Yeah, that's about the great stuff that happened towards the month. The other stuff, hectic, tiring. I have to go through a lot of stress, a lot of difficulty, a lot of hardships. I had to make a lot of mistakes because there's just so much things to learn a job. There's so many paperwork, there's so many procedures, there's so many systems. You gotta learn all of them, and you gotta learn under pressure, under fire, because the bank is always short on staffs. And when you actually want to do something, when you actually want to learn something and do some work, there's just nobody there to teach you. Your seniors, a lot of them just take annual leaves, medical leaves, and it's very difficult to have one day in the bank where you have everyone on board, everyone present at the bank to carry out the job, the flow of the systems smoothly. It has been more than a week where some of my colleagues, they have been sick and they had to take medical leaves, and then some took annual leaves, and been a long time since we have a full squad on the team. And it's very difficult to cope with the huge traffic, there are a lot of people coming in the bank, the long queue, but we just do not have enough bankers to actually cope with the job. Sometimes when you have something that you don't know how to deal with, and you really want to ask somebody for help, everyone's just so busy serving their own customers, and everyone's busy with their own job that they don't have time to entertain you. And then in this situation, what you're gonna do, you're just gonna force yourself to push through and just to make assumption of some stuff, just to make mistakes. And some of these mistakes will really put a lot of pressure on you and put a lot of stress on you, because I literally have 2 account openings where I wasn't able to open the account. I keep getting rejected, I keep missing this document, missing that, and there has been time where I need to call the customer to come back because I missed the documentation, I missed their signature, and it's really stressful, you know, because when you want to call customer to come back, you're actually making customer frustrated, you're making customers angry, and they might yell at you, they might scold you, and that actually puts a lot of pressure on you. But it's unavoidable, because when you wanted help, nobody could guide you just because everyone was so busy. And the past 2 months after I started Open Counter, and that has been the case, there has been so many instances where you just got to learn, you just got to get traumatized, you just got to go make those mistakes, get scolded, gain the experience before you can do better next time. It's a lot of stress, but usually it's very beneficial because you won't necessarily make the same mistake in the future, because you just have the experience and the knowledge to how to do your work properly. And again, I think the main difficulty of this job is that after going through all of these hardships, all of these frustrating procedures and tiring, stressful procedures, at the end of the day, the bank's gonna tell you that you are not gonna be evaluated based on these stuff, and they're not gonna be telling you that you did a good job because you didn't. I told you in my past videos, I've actually explained a job as a personal banker. You cover 2 main aspects. One is customer service and the second one is sales. So on the customer service side of things, you're going to be handling customers' banking issues. For example, they might have their credit cards expired, they might want you to help them renew a new card, they might have forgotten their internet banking password and they need help from you to reset the password. They might want to get their bank statement, they might want to apply for credit cards, they might want to open a fixed deposit account. Everything you need to help them do it. And that's the one part, the customer service side of things. The sales side of things, you can start to sell a lot of range of financial products such as insurance, investments, gold saving account, fixed deposits, foreign exchanges, but more precisely insurance, because they put a lot of emphasis on that, and a lot of revenue, a lot of the KPI and target comes from insurance. So yeah, that is the 2 main tasks of your role. But even though you have 2 tasks on the job, most of your KPI is based on sales, and the managers, they just tell you very straight up front, we hire you for this job not to do servicing, not to service customers, not to help customers with their banking issues, but we hire you mainly for you to do sales. You're supposed to sell insurance, you're supposed to sell unit trust, you're supposed to help bring in money and bring in revenue to the bank. That is your main objective, which is really contradictory, because although the job says that you need to be doing all these sales, 90% of your day-to-day tasks don't involve giving us time to do these sales, because 90% of the day we are actually servicing customers, we're actually handling the paperwork, we're actually doing things that don't matter to our KPI at all. And if I have to be honest, we are probably only given 10% of the actual time to do sales. The top management, they actually expect you to sell when you're actually servicing the customer. For example, if you're helping the customer replace a new card, this is your opportunity to talk with the customer, to discuss with the customer, to know your customers, to get more information from them, to actually develop your relationship with the customer, and then slowly but surely lead them and draw them into the sale, because you're going to be asking them a lot of questions, you're going to try to prevent them, and in this process try to close them. That is what they expect from you. But in most cases it's very difficult, because most of the customers, they come in, they're not even wanting to buy it itself, they're not trying to get an insurance policy, they're not trying to make investment, they're just trying to settle their banking issues and then leave. And most of them are in a rush, most of them are impatient, most of them have no mood to entertain you as bankers. They just want to get their job done and scramble the hell out of the bank, which makes the job so difficult. And I have to say that sales in bank is just very, very difficult, and sales has not been good this month. Total insurance policies sold this month, especially in the regional area, is not that good. I don't believe any of the single branch in the whole entire region actually sold more than 5 policies per branch, right? And there has even been some of the branches with literally 0 sales for the month of October. For our branch, there's 3, including myself. I sold 1 insurance policy, and the other 2 colleagues, but that's about it. We did not sell more than that. And honestly, I believe in this kind of situation, none of the colleagues actually hit their sales target, especially the more senior ones, because they have said once you work more longer in the bank, your KPI will increase, and some will actually increase to 100% KPI, 300% KPI, which means you might have to sell like 30k worth of revenue, or maybe sell 10 policies before you can hit your KPI. And if you don't hit your KPI, you don't get the commissions. And in this case, none of my colleagues actually hit more than 2 insurance policies per month. If a colleague actually sold 1 policy that month, is considered really good. Nobody actually sold more than 1. That just shows you how difficult it is to sell insurance, and it's really not easy to sell insurance because a lot of the insurance policies, they are pricey and they're long term, and once you put your money in it, you can't really take out, and most people can't even afford the insurance in the first place. Yeah, honestly, this job is not what I expected, and it's really tough. And honestly, there has been times where I really felt like quitting, but in the end I told myself, no, I don't want to quit first, because this is a job that I've been working really hard to get. I've been trying to get this job, a banking job, ever since my university day, because I majored in economics, I majored in finance. I really do want to do something very related to investment related economics, and this is a job that somehow touches investment and economics and stock markets and policies, all this, and it's really a job that something that I want to do. It's just difficult in the sense that you got to do sales, you got to do a lot of paperwork, and it's hectic, but it's something that I want to do, and I believe I have not actually unlocked my full potential yet. I believe I can do more in this job. I can hit those numbers. I can really turn myself into a knowledgeable finance person who's good in the stock market, good in investment, good in financial planning. So yeah, I don't want to leave first, even though there has been temptations that to leave because of the job stress, but I honestly want to stay longer and see how it goes, because honestly, I don't believe I have actually unlocked my full potential. I have not reached a top sales status. I've not closed enough policies. I've not sold enough products. I've not proven to myself that I'm worthy. I've not reached my financial goals. So I'm not going to leave first. I'm definitely going to stay for the long term, at least 1 year or 2, because I know I'm not going to be staying in this bank for too long. A lot of people don't actually stay that long, but before I leave, I want to make sure that I've developed enough skills and knowledge, acquired enough things to put on my resume to prove to myself that I'm worth it before I head to another branch, head to another bank or another industry. So for the month of November, I'm definitely going to be starting some goals, and I'm going to be sharing some with you guys this month. So I definitely want to hit certain goals. I want to start to sell more policies this month. I would aim 3 policies in the month of November. It's not going to be easy, like I told you earlier, that it's not easy to sell. Like my seniors who had more experience than me sold at max 1 policy in a month. Selling 3, you consider top sales for that month already. I've been here for 3 months, and there's no single month where I had a colleague who sold more than 3 policies. So setting 3 policies is still a very tough ask, but I'm going to try to do it, because honestly, I need to be able to prove my worth. I need to be able to show my skills, my ability to sell. I need to prove to myself that I can do it, and it's also good for my journey towards financial freedom, because the commission is how I want to get more money. If I don't have commission, then I only can have the basic pay, which is very little. So yeah, I definitely need to be able to sell more. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be challenging, but I know I can do it. And honestly, during this time, I've not actually put in my full potential. I've not actually go out and search for sales, because I've not been asking everybody. I've not been going all out. I've only been targeting the very easy target, like the young ones or the introverted ones. I've not actually gone for the mid 40s or 50 years old, because they seem very strict, they seem fierce, and they don't seem that friendly, and I don't dare to approach them. And that is the reason why I did not actually close their sale. But honestly, towards November, I need to start going all out, ask as many people as possible, do some cold calls, and even if it means getting exploited by customers, even if it means that I would get ridiculed, I would get called a lot of weird, harsh names and a lot of hurtful stuff, I need to do this because I'm in sales. I need to do it for myself. I need to do it for my own ability, my own financial situation, because I have goals that I want to achieve. So yeah, there's no excuse. The month of November, I want to try to do more. I want to try to prove my worth before the end of 2025, and as we approach 2026, I believe it's going to be a much better year. So that's about it for this video. It's getting a little long, 15 minutes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Goodbye.